Robbie, Newcastle 1, Arsenal 2. You were close with the 3-1.
Yeah.
We met in the middle, I had 2-2. You've came up here, you've got the 3 points. Unlike last season. You happy with that?
Oh, very happy, very happy. You know, I mean, last season last season's game here epitomised us last season. You know, what I mean, away from home, we were dreadful. We came, we went 1-0 up. We were looking all right, and as soon as you guys equalised, our heads dropped, and you know, it was kind of inevitable what was going to happen. I see a lot of difference this season in the sort of attitude with the players. And I thought today, the first half, we didn't play well at all. I think we were very poor. You guys were at it. You got a lot of corners. You know, you had a few chances, but you never really had nothing clear cut. And we kind of just dug in. And I remember saying to my mate at half time, I was going, listen, we haven't played well, but at least it's 0-0. We haven't conceded, which was important. I think the minute that free kick went in the second half, our confidence just went sky high. And also, I sort of looked at your players and their heads just dropped, which kind of surprised me because last season they didn't. Your heads didn't drop. You were like really at it after that. And we got the second goal, and then I was a bit disappointed really that we didn't score more. I think we could have really scored a few more goals in the game, and it was a bit disappointing in the end to concede right at the end. But I think we fully deserved to get the win in the end, and yeah, it was a good second half performance by us.
What do you think went wrong for Newcastle today? I mean, what did you make of Rafa's tactics? He's been heavily criticised by the media so far this season for the negativity. You touched in the preview that we need to get in your faces a bit more. What did you make of it all?
I thought it was a bit negative. In the first half, listen, it was kind of working. Second half, I thought you guys were a bit too negative. You know what I mean? You know, if you watch the games of teams playing against Arsenal so far this season, the ones that have had joy, of the teams that have been really trying to press us, you know, press us into mistakes. Even Cardiff pressed us into a lot of mistakes. It does take a lot of bravery to do that, but I thought the lineup was a bit negative, and I couldn't understand why he didn't bring Shelvey on. Shelvey's like your player that can make things happen. If he's on the bench, why didn't you bring him on? I couldn't understand, and I was pleased that you didn't start with Rondon, because for me, Rondon's a handful. He's not a clinical player, but he can be a handful for, you know, a team like us that sometimes our defence, you know, can be a bit dodgy. Although the centre halves haven't done too bad, although Mustafi had some shaky moments today. So I was a bit surprised at that. I still think, I think playing at home, I still think he was a little bit too negative today. But then having said that, that may have played into our hands. It's a hard one to call, but I'm just pleased that we got the 3 points. It was a very good second half performance by us, I felt.
I had you on the channel last season when we beat you 2-1. You were saying the summer is the chance for Newcastle United to really push on. You know, that was the top 10 finish. You said Newcastle should be amongst the top 4, top 6.
Oh, without a doubt.
But you need investment, so why is that not happening?
Well, it's your owner, isn't it? You know, your owner doesn't want to spend any money. He's obviously trying to, it looks like he's trying to sell it, but he's been trying to sell it for ages. It's sad, really, you know what I mean? Because I remember, like, even just a little while back when Keegan was there and that, and Newcastle was like everyone's second team. It was so exciting, you know, to watch them and stuff like that. And you look at the size of the club, I know everyone says it, you know, your fans and everything, and you just think to yourself, if somebody came in here and invested a bit of money, this could be, you know, a really, really proper club. You know what I mean? I just think Mike Ashley, I'm confused as to, a bit like our owner. The same with our owner as well, with Stan Kroenke. I get confused as to why these guys want to own this club. Well, actually, in Kroenke's case, I know why, because he's making a lot of money out of it. In Ashley's case, I don't think he's even making that great amount of money here. Why not just pass it on to somebody else that's going to really invest the right amount of money in the team? And, you know, because you're never going to do anything if you don't buy the right players. If you haven't got the quality, it doesn't care if this could hold 500,000 fans and they were the best fans in the world, you're not going to win nothing, because at the end of the day, you need quality players. And if you haven't got those quality players, you're not really going to, the best you can hope for is just a mid-table or something like that. And, you know, I have to question the owner's ambition? What is it he wants from Newcastle? I'm confused. I'm always wondering what is, you know, every time sort of Newcastle comes on the TV and they're talking about it now, I just think to myself, what does he want? Does he want to sell it? Because I'm sure you make a profit already for what you pay for it. Or maybe you don't want to sell it. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he gets some joy out of pissing off Newcastle fans.
That's what we always say. Like, he loves. He's been hated for years. He seems to like to play the villain. He did it when he changed the name to Sports Direct Arena. He knew that would piss everyone off. Did it anyways.
He's a fantastic business guy. Obviously, you see what he's done with his other businesses. He's with Buy House of Fraser now and stuff like that. But with this is not your ordinary. This is not Sports Direct. This is not, you know, House of Fraser. This is, you know, this is not just a straight business. This is people's emotions. This is people who supported a club for all their lives. It's the same with Arsenal. I look at our owners. I'm like, do you know how much people care about Arsenal Football Club? Do you know that when the weekend comes, if we lost there today, that's it. The weekend's ruined. You know what I mean? You're driving home. You know, does Stan Kroenke know how long it takes to drive from London to Newcastle? Or Mike Ashley, does he know that practically every game a Newcastle fan has to go to is like, you know, 80 miles plus? Does he know that? Do these guys really know and understand these things? Because I think if they did, they wouldn't behave in the way they behave. They just treating it like a straight up business, like their other businesses, and it's not. It's more than that. And you know, I hope, you know, because I always like coming here. I don't like, you know, going all the way.
Enjoy the stairs again, did you?
I hated those stairs, and I love Newcastle to sort that out so that they can get us down there with the rest of the fans. But I love coming here. It's a great city, great people, great team, traditional teams known all around the world. And I just think that Mike Ashley, he needs to decide now what it is. You know, he's got a quality manager. Give the guy the funds and let him do the job properly. If you're not going to do that, then, you know, because I can see my, you know, I'm sorry to say this to you, yeah, I can see a scenario that Rafa could even walk in January. He could turn around and say, you know what,
That's enough.
If he don't get the players he wants in January, he might just say, you know what, what's the point of this, man? If I stay here and the club goes down or something, that's going to knock me getting any jobs in the future or whatever. And a few little people have been knocking on the door. I may as well bail out now. This guy don't care. I like the fans and everything, but, you know, also I've got to think about my future. So it's tough times. He needs to do something about it. It's the owner. Owner's got to sort it out. It really does.
Before you go, mate, okay, I've had enough of you wearing that red and white, mate, so I thought I'd get you a little present. My
Right, thank you very much.
Just for you, mate. Take that back to London, rep that down there.
Yeah, what's that? Double X as well. 3X, come on, man. I lost a bit of weight. You know what I mean? 3XL, but no, respect for that.
No worries, mate.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.